Hey, welcome back to an HCMC video. I'm going to be going over technical analysis mainly today, and everything here is not going to be opinionated. I've done videos where I've done my opinion on HCMC. A lot of people hate it because it's not all HCMC to $10 or anything. I'm going to show you guys the facts of it and a legitimate technical analysis that you guys could use to potentially trade this if you want to trade this. Additionally, kind of show you how high this thing really has the chance to go to. Just to give you a general idea of how our price is looking right now, we saw a nice run up all the way almost to 2 cents here, but it has since dropped down. I know I'm receiving a lot of comments on that other video still, like, hopefully you keep this up when it goes to $1, or well, hopefully you keep this up when it goes to 2 cents. Guys, just remember, I actually own some shares of this. I am not overhyped on it, and I'm not punching it either. So when it does good, I'm not mad, and when it does bad, I'm not rooting for it. So with that being said, let's head into the charts real quick, because I do think there's a range that we do need to look out for after this massive drop. It was pretty expected. We drew this line here literally, I think it was 2 weeks ago when we made that video, and this was the exact line we put. And see where it stopped out? It stopped out precisely at this point and has tanked down all the way back here. Now, where can this thing go from here? Well, yes, this stock does have a lot of room to go upwards. I think we are going to see I do think that we're going to see a retest here of the penny level. Now, if we break this level, it has a lot to do with beyond just technicals at that point, because technically speaking, this thing is in a range between 1 and 2 cents. So with that being said, it's going to stay hovering in this range, and you could try to play this range if you would like. But better yet, if you're planning on buying more HCMC stocks, this is when you would want to buy right in this box right here in the 1.1 cents to 1 cent range. This is where we should see the fall last to until we get another catalyst. Now, it's hard for catalysts right now, and I think for a good reason. I think we're going to stay right here. Of course, this is just off of experience, but I think we're going to stay in the 1 cent to 1.5 cent range, because this is going to be a stalemate here for the next few months. We're not going to get much information. We're just getting little things here. This happened when they're raising money. They had to raise money to, of course, be able to fight the juggernaut of Philip Morris. This is going to cost a lot. And if they lose this lawsuit, this is going to be painful. And for everyone that says they'll be fine, just think of how much money this lawsuit's going to cause them compared to the cash on the balance sheet. That is my biggest fear here. So when there is that uncertainty, I think we're going to stay between the range here of 1 and 1.5. As for the catalyst here, the shareholders message was released here yesterday, April 20th, and they now have over 400,000 shareholders. But this is the catalyst that I think is going to bring this back down to the penny range right here. And that is a lot of people expected that they had at least enough cash to fight with the big Philip Morris. But right here we see that the rights offering, and this is from them themselves, HCMC will require additional funding in an effort to achieve this funding in a potentially non-dilutive, that's a key word, non-dilutive manner to current shareholders. But this right here is where the share price is going to go down. The rights offering essentially allows our shareholders the ability to purchase our common stock directly from the company at a discounted price. Now, this happens a lot with different stocks. If the stock is getting acquired per se, and they're getting acquired at $27 and they're at $26, most likely it's going to get up to $27, but anything over that, it just does not make sense. So in the same sense here, this could be said in the same way. HCMC is offering shares at a lower price, and you got to think of it more like an option, almost like an employee option to raise money. This isn't a reverse split, or this isn't a issuing new shares, but there is going to be an additional 25% of the company's common stock. So likely we are going to see some dilution, as they say right here, potentially non-dilutive. That means that it's probably going to be dilutive, especially when you're adding 25% of the pool here, and the company can raise up to $100 million. And a lot of things that they say here, it's a lot about talking about their intellectual property rights, because this is something that they really need to say, or else the shareholders are absolutely going to bomb them, and they're definitely not going to be buying into this option. If they were to say that they're just going to hold this cash and use it as operating expenses for their money-losing business, then yes, there would be a very big issue. And I think that's how a lot of people are reading this. And that's a reason for this downturn right here. Because always, even with technicals like this, where it's very easy to predict, a fundamental change to the business could always send this thing soaring or tanking. And in this case, I think the mix of hitting this resistance line as well as this, we're seeing a pretty strong downtrend. Now, I'll give you both sides of this. They have the one side. Let's talk about the people that are new shareholders here that really are only in it for the lawsuit. Let's be real here. This side, the counterclaim here is, well, we already expected this. Of course, they're diluting or at least raising money. They need money to be able to fight PM. Now, how much money? 100 million. From the counter argument perspective, we're looking at 100 million. We're saying no lawyer in this world costs 100 million. So this is going to be used for stuff that does not have to do with the intellectual property lawsuit with PM. So therefore, where is this money really going? So in my opinion, or at least what I see from the balance sheet, is they are a company with a run rate that is well over their revenue. They are losing money. We could see that just basically by looking at their fundamentals. So I think a lot of this money is going to help them turn around their current business. Now, this could be a good thing, especially for that, because one, if they turn around these other businesses with this capital, even if this lawsuit loses, which we could imply maybe they think they're going to lose this, so they're trying to raise this money while the stock is hype. Not saying that's true. That's purely just a speculative assumption that some might argue. But they could use this 100 million to grow their already existing business, already existing chains of grocers, as well as they could potentially even work on their vape stores, which I think they should personally close down from the looks of it. But there's definitely potential there with the HCMC stores that they could grow here. The online stores sales could be growing, and they could use this capital for not only the intellectual property lawsuit, but also to expand the business. So potentially, if they lose this lawsuit, which I would say it's a 50-50 chance, then they still have a business worth a dime, or in this case, a business still worth a penny. Now, if you are interested in actually expanding your share count, this would be a great time if you do want to partake in this whole event. So 4 common stocks will give you the ability to purchase 1 share of common stock. Now, the way they are actually averaging this is going to be a 25% discount, the volume weighted average, or the VWAP. So they give some examples here, but you could pull out a VWAP on your chart here. Just look up VWAP and you'll get your VWAP and be able to determine this yourself. Well, at the current moment, 0.001567, times that by 0.75 and you will get what you will pay for your share price. You will get a nice discount if you are interested in purchasing more shares, and you truly do believe that none of this is baloney, and you truly do believe that they're not going to blow this $100 million on stuff that has nothing to do with lawyer fees or anything like that. I'll promise you right now, PM is not spending $100 million on this lawsuit, and there's no way HCMC is either, which is a company that had well under $100 million market cap before this even started. So this is just a home run for them. Congratulations to those guys. They're able to potentially save their already existing business with this shareholder potential $100 million.